Got it. All right, man, we're on.
What's up, guys? It's the three gym guys. We got Charlie, Spencer, and Jeremy. We couldn't be more excited about today. So much happening in the world of fitness and our gyms, our boxes, whatever you refer them to. But today, guys, we have a new soon-to-be owner of CrossFit Inc., Eric Roza. We're really just excited for what the potential future lies with the new owner and CEO. So what else best to talk about with three 10-year plus CrossFit affiliates as we look into the future of fitness, what's next for CrossFit, what's next for us, and where we want to go. And so a little bit about this before, we jump in and talk about it, a little bit of background on Eric. We know that he's been a successful business owner, established a technology company and I'm going to say the name, is it Logic? What was it? Y'all know?
No.
With Oracle. Oracle purchased his previous company, note of $1.2 billion. So it's a pretty successful business owner, but also a 10-year CrossFit affiliate owner, which is pretty impressive in the Boulder area in the sense that this guy also implemented boxes within the corporation that he ran inside of Oracle as well, from my knowledge and understanding, which is pretty cool to see that he's one of us, but also very successful in the sense of what he's been able to create and do in the marketplace. And so we're really set on a new era. I've been with CrossFit for 15 years, and it feels like, a real page turner, if you will, into what the future holds. And so as we sit right now, we're watching, evaluating, I say with good faith and knowing that the future, with the right steps could be very bright. And we are, from our standpoint, watching in good faith. But with that being said, I know Charlie has already been in communication with HQ. We're going over to Charlie and talk about where he's thinking.
I'll say this, watching the YouTube interview, there's a few things that I really liked about Eric so far. One, I really liked his enthusiasm. I told you guys when we hopped on this call, I said, I felt like he was a kid who just, got a new toy, right? And in a good way. It was like he was excited. Here's a guy who apparently has enough money to do whatever he wants, yet he is enthused about not just buying the business, but being really the change, the catalyst for change that he feels CrossFit needs right now. Another thing I really liked was when he kind of shared about his mom, who just started doing CrossFit a couple years before she passed, and how that was one of the most memorable moments for him to not just see her get started, but actually to do CrossFit. And it just showed you that his belief in the product, right? He wouldn't be an affiliate owner if he didn't. Another thing I thought was really a highlight was he has a 400 member gym before the shutdown. I mean, you don't accomplish a 400 member gym without success. And so I think not only is he an affiliate owner, but he's a very successful affiliate owner, because when you get to a 400 member gym, you really know the ins and outs. The next thing I want to highlight was, I gathered from his interview a lot of humility, a lot of, I don't know it all. I'm not saying that I'm the best at this. I mean, just I think there was this spirit of humility, yet he also wants to make changes positively. And I think whenever you have a humble heart coming into a conversation, he's going to be open to feedback. You mentioned this one, Jeremy. He posted on his Instagram that he was getting back to 1,200 emails at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I just feel like he's coming into this with a really healthy perspective. And this is something that I got personally from all those years of being an affiliate, right, since 2008. And I'm not going to say this as a complaint, because I never felt that HQ owed me anything. But I would feel like from an affiliate perspective, I felt like what I got from HQ was pride, right? Like, we don't have to do X or don't have to do this. And I feel like in the small interaction that we've gotten from the new CEO, the new owner, and Eric, is I feel there's a different approach, which is more that of service, right? When you're at the top, and we understand this in leadership, that we are here to serve our members. We are here to serve our customers, or our clients and employees. And so I feel like I really got, I don't know the guy personally. I watched a 30-minute interview. He's done 2 posts on his social media, but I'm getting really good hope in the relationships that he's going to build with HQ and affiliate owners and the larger community. I also like how he answered the question about the CrossFit Games, because that was one of the last questions Dave asked him was, hey, this was not on our plan to talk about this, but, Dave said, I care a lot about the sport. And I'm just curious, what's your view on how the CrossFit Games, exists with CrossFit? And his answer was really good, because I feel like he said, hey, it wasn't hey, I'm going to remove it. And it also wasn't like, man, it's going to be all about the games. It was like, hey, there should be a better connection between the top level athletes and the new people that are interacting at your gym. There needs to be this feeling of like, there's a better relationship there, because right now there's a huge disconnect from like, I'll never be there. Or I just felt like it was a great answer to show that, hey, he understands how this bigger thing works, and that the games should be a good thing for the CrossFit community and the affiliate community. Because I think in the last, decade, there's been a lot of controversy in that we've had to, explain to people that, hey, the CrossFit Games is not what we do. And I think that the messaging over the next decade is going to be complementary more than divisive.
Well, I know Spencer's been opening his new facility. He's got a plush new space that he purchased real estate on. So I don't know how up to date he is, but he's in there working, grinding, doing his thing. What are your thoughts on the new incoming CEO and owner of CrossFit?
Well, initially, and I said this yesterday to our staff, I bet you guys could relate to this. This whole saga has been emotionally exhausting to me. And I think that's brought up some things I didn't even realize in terms of loyalty to the brand, in terms of the nostalgia of how we started, and even the loyalty to Greg Glassman himself. And I think my initial response when they announced that, if I could be really honest, was like, I have no loyalty to this guy. Greg Glassman's bought my breakfast at the Silver Spur in Santa Cruz. He's done so much for me personally, despite all the shenanigans that have happened. Yeah, it's a dysfunctional relationship, but I knew what to expect from that guy and from HQ. Was it great? No. But I think we all three have talked in past, and it's yeah, but we kind of knew what to get out of that. And so my initial thought was, man, that's not the brand that I'm loyal to, this guy and what he's saying, even though he was saying great stuff. Now, as I hear you guys talk, I'm filled with enthusiasm and positivity for what this could develop into. I want to verbalize, though, that some of what we like is what is capable of producing the dysfunction that we've seen. And what I mean by that is we're not a franchise. I'm not beholden to anybody. I feel some loyalty to HQ and to Greg Glassman, but at the end of the day, I can run my shop however I want. And so, I think that this guy is a businessman first and a CrossFit enthusiast second. And so when you have that hierarchy or that order, my guess is that there's going to be some decisions that are made that are through the lens of a businessman and not someone who's enthusiastic about thrusters first. And, I know that we are really stoked that we got a billionaire that's going to be in charge, but you don't get to be a billionaire by cultivating the culture that we like, right? I mean, the thing that's developed into what we love and some of the old school stuff that everybody's talking about, everybody uses the word community. Community comes from not having like rules and regulations. And so if I could be controversial for a second, I hope, and I have high hopes this guy comes in and he makes it exactly what we want. But I think some of the things that all three of us have really thrived on is that we can do this exactly like we want. And we just cultivated and developed over decades, each of us individually, the way that we think business should be run. So I really hope he can come in and say, hey, we're gonna do this, and it's exactly what we want, in line with what we want. But to be honest, I'm nervous he's gonna come in and say, you gotta do things like this, 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 and this. And I'm telling you that because I'm a billionaire and I've sold companies and I know what I'm doing. And so, you know.
I think, and he addressed that. Dave asked him about that. He basically said, Dave said two different words. He said, one thing that people like the most is the model, right? Like the affiliate model. And I agree, Spencer. That is one of the number one reasons I've been a CrossFit affiliate for 12 years, is because I love the model, right? It's basically allows me to do my own thing. And he made it clear, like, or at least in only time will tell. I mean, this guy could come in next, year and say, hey, we're changing everything. But I don't think he will, because I think that would ruin everything but what I think he will do is provide better options. So I'm going to use an example in the gyms, right? So we got 15,000 affiliates. And you guys ran affiliates, early in your career that were very unorganized, very messy, with no rules and no structure. And I think one thing that we can all agree on at this stage in our affiliation is that our businesses look more structured and more organized today than they did then. And with that structure and organization, there comes some resentment, some people who don't agree with the new, the new policies, the new things. And I bet CrossFit HQ has done the same thing and matured a little bit. But what I think that we're going to get, like, if you're an affiliate, for example, in 2025, I think you're going to have resources and access to things that you guys and like we never could touch, right? The way that I saw it when we started, like, you learn just as you go, right? Like, if you're not, we didn't get support on how to run a business from HQ. The thing that HQ gave us was a level 1 seminar, right? And then options to continue your education. I think what affiliates can expect in the future is at the same exact premium that we pay for affiliation, but then you can purchase, like right now, I pay Two Brain, right? I did their, you guys know that, I did their incubator. People are paying all these other things. There's Gym Launch out there. There's Factory Forge. And I think what CrossFit's going to have is a better system network for you to be successful in opening a gym. But you can take it or leave it, right? If you don't need it. Yeah.
So just think about this, guys. I just did some simple math. This is high lows. We know everybody looks at our gyms. They go, you have 250 people. You're killing it. You're making a lot of money. And then you go, well, I have a lot of overhead and I have to pay people and this and that. And it's like, but at the end of the day, like, we are making money. Yes. And so if I do the highs on affiliation, it's a $45 million annual subscription for the affiliates. So they're paying them $45 million a year for affiliation fees. Okay. So let's lowball that. Let's take it to 25 million because of the grandfather people in and the ins and outs. So $25 million a year. What do we get ongoing for the $3,000 we're paying in the 25 million? What is the tangible expense related? Some affiliate, individuals communicating with us and engaging. Well, that wasn't really happening. So what did we get for 25, or what did the 15,000 affiliates get for 25 million to 35 million? What did we get? We got to license the brand, utilize our certification to go out and run and operate our business. So all we really are asking for just as affiliates is better communication. How much does it cost to communicate better? Not a lot. Consistency and a plan of communication. So if this mousetrap car just is, the screws are tightened on the wheels and there's better communication and we get to do what we want to do for 25 million a year, what else do they have to do? Nothing. If you're a smart business owner and you just bought an opportunity and you have cash flow coming in and all you need to do to the affiliate model is tighten up the bolts on the wheels to better communicate so everyone understands what's going on, phenomenal. You're doing great, because what is the overhead? Personnel to communicate, to type up the language of words to go out to the community to know what's going on. So when I look at that going like, man, this is a phenomenal purchase. Level 1 certification courses, you have your staff, you're selling education. That is a functioning seminar, a subscription-based model with little to no overhead other than the personnel that's servicing the customers. This is amazing in the sense of what's possible. Then that's just the affiliate model. If you look at the sport with the right partnerships, with the right, you're talking about $1 billion sport when it is properly positioned. I'm watching with my kids the obstacle course races that's on TV. They have 100, people, or I'm watching the Titan games that are broadcasted on TV. Like a lot of former CrossFit Games athletes are on there doing the Titan games with The Rock. I'm like, we're 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters away from being a international broadcasted show around the globe with partners. Like, so it's just like, whenever I look at this, when you're 2 millimeters away from potential and allowing the affiliates to continue to do what we do by tightening the wheels, this is a phenomenal opportunity to change the face of the planet. And so putting restrictions and all these things, to me, what is the end benefit to that? It doesn't make sense. And creating informational resources. And this is where I go on the 20th century business model versus 21st century business model. This is what we're all experiencing as I listen to companies, to podcasts, to different thought leaders. When you think CrossFit is a 21st century business model that has worked very, very well, to put in all the restraints and the restrictions is moving back to a 20th century model that is unnecessary. So allow the 21st century business model, the subscription-based affiliate model, the seminar affiliate model, the online affiliate open, CrossFit open model. That is extraordinary. And now you're looking at the CrossFit Games model. I really hope that they can create the relationships to bring regionals back. I think if they brought regionals back and did it right, it would be phenomenal. But the right partnerships have to put it in place to do it. And so I hope that regionals come back, but there's a cost association. You have to have the right sponsors to come in and the right technology to integrate. If there was a point system just alone from technology for CrossFit Games athletes to be on a point system, we've been talking about this for years. You do a competition, you get a set amount of points. The tennis world has this. The top 100 athletes are ranked on the events that they do, and they're ranked every year. That's just simple technology. You do an algorithm, you do points, you give them a placement. They go in, then sponsors come on, and they sponsor the online platforms. Bada bing, bada boom, we got regionals back. This is just a short list of ideas that I have. And I told you guys, it's like, man, more than ever, I want to bring value to the CrossFit community and make this thing what it could be for the future. And I think with the right leadership and the right guidance from the top down, guys, I think we're sitting in the change agent. That Glassman's last thing, that, what would he say, Spencer, over and over again? A unique.
An elegant solution to the world's most vexing health problem, or something along those lines.
And that is absolutely accurate. With the proper leadership and the proper technology, we are the solution. And I believe that 100%. So that's like where I just go like, man, now if why would you put restraints on what is already flourishing. Just tighten up the bolts on the wheel and make it smoother and sleeker and smoother. So that's my.
Charlie, what are, we're talking hope and optimism. Like, what would you hope comes out of this?
Yeah, no, I would say my hope is more resources, more opportunity to better serve my customers through this partnership. So that would be, so like, this is where I was for 12 years. If I'm completely honest, this is why I never was a person who complained, because I'm still forever grateful to CrossFit and to Greg Glassman for my awakening in 2008 to this new methodology, and then my freedom to conduct a business in the way, it was almost like he just gave me this great vehicle to jump into and service my clients. What I never really counted on CrossFit for was to help me become a better business owner. And I will tell you this, I'm 15 years into running my business, and I'm still learning and starting, fresh, I feel like, a lot of times. And I feel like what would be so great, what I'm so hopeful is from this new leadership and this new CEO, owner, is to have better resources, better tools that are all from the CrossFit hierarchy to run my business, to serve my clients. Like Jeremy talks about this guy having these technology companies that we can now maybe track, if he does go down this path of tracking data and saying like, hey guys, just want you to know, we've been working on this for 9 months or 3 years. We finally got it. It's a new app where it's this, that now you can, with data, show your customers progress by entering in this and that and this and that, and show a client or a consult or somebody in the community, or go to your, I just feel like, man, having this really positive business influence from HQ is what I'm excited about. Like, I feel like what I liked about what they provided was the L1, the L1 to me, I did it in 2008 with you, Spencer. And then I did it again. I had to renew it in 2015. And I still, to this day, will tell you the L1 is probably the best form of certification that you can get and just learn and grow. I appreciate that. But I didn't feel like we had any business guidance. And that wasn't who they wanted to be. That wasn't what their mission was. I don't think Glassman, his business model, and it worked for him in Santa Cruz 20 years ago, was basically, he talks about it. We were at the affiliate gathering, like giving free memberships and, he talks about running an affiliate, not in the way that us three know what it is. And I don't knock the guy. I don't blame him, because what you got to appreciate from Glassman was whatever framework he looked at the world in was what was able to create CrossFit today to where it is. So had he been too business-minded, like you said, Spencer, then we would have a completely different thing than we do today. But what I do believe that Eric is going to do, he's going to take this thing that Glassman created, which I give 100% credit to his leadership, because he had to hire people, obviously, that helped, and, great seminar staff like you, Spencer, and great people like, even Nicole and Dave and his team. He had to have strong people come with him, but he took basically what was this idea and turned it into what we know today. And unfortunately, this is what I'm sad. I'm sad that guy is going to have to be remembered or lived or even wake up in the morning, 5 years from now and be remembered for this. Like, I hate that for him. I pray for that grace to cover him, because that's not, I just, that I don't like that.
Charlie, here's the deal, Charlie, and I don't know where, and I don't want to really get into the controversy, but where we're treading is that there was an email and a tweet, but post is the revelations that are coming out about the environment and the culture of fear and sexual, like the sexual aspect of what was going on that are continuing to come out is where this thing starts to tilt in a very, it's going to get, I think more information is going to be coming out about the atmosphere and the culture within the hierarchy at HQ that we do not know the information about. And I'm not saying I know anything, but so there's a lot of information.
And I agree with what you're saying, and there a change needed to happen. So kind of that's what I'm saying. All I wanted to do was kind of really recognize the fact that we are where we are, whether you liked him or you didn't, whether you appreciated what he did or didn't. We are where we are because that guy was in charge. And now I feel like change was necessary and truly happened because of the poor decisions. You guys know, guys, we can't be in a leadership position and it not hurt us if we're not good leaders. Like this is just proof that like, I don't care how long you think you're getting away with whatever it is that you're doing, it will come out and you will be exposed. And that is what happened. And so, but I believe the change is going to be positive because now you got a guy who's coming in who has the opportunity to take this business and completely pour a new set of eyes with wisdom and not having the limitations and beliefs and thoughts that the previous person did. And I think, again, they're both necessary. You know, CrossFit needed this. It had to happen, especially when more information started coming out about Glassman. He needed to go. And now you have this great opportunity, right? And Eric, who is the guy that we are hoping is the guy, has a great opportunity to do that.
Right. That's where I want to bring it back to, kind of wrapping up this conversation in the sense of saying, like, you know, where we are, we're observing and we are faithfully in hope for the future of CrossFit affiliates and CrossFit Inc. And, you know, even the deal alone isn't closed. They have to finalize the ink and do the transactions. We're hopeful that the transaction closes. Then the leadership implementation processes correctly. And then we start to see the action. This is a conversation I had on my social, is that like we are faithfully in hope that the actions of inclusivity, of, you know, all the things that we want for the broader community that we show in our box will be provided from the company that we're affiliated with. And if that is the case, a lot of the wrongs will be righted because of the leadership and the new ownership and where we're going. Because there is a large cry for denouncing. And I'm just like, we don't have to denounce. We don't have to divide. We can move forward and change and be active in the space to make things much greater and more abundant.
You know what I think would be the best possible outcome here is that this guy steps into a position where he's like our Gandalf, right? He's this incredible guide. He's this incredible sage from a business standpoint, but he doesn't force us to do things a certain way. He becomes this amazing resource and this amazing mentor. And because of his professional clout, my wish is that he could put us into this category of professional, whereas before it was like we were just a bunch of cowboys.
Yes.
Right. And it's like like that thing that Glassman talks about with health, like he actually like puts us into that category. And then he says like, hey, go forward and do it. And hey, here's some good ideas on how you could do it. But hey, you go ahead and go for it. Like if that happened, it would be a miracle. It would be a dream come true. And I hope that that is what happens.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the last words there, Spencer. We appreciate you guys listening. 3 gym guys doing what we do in the trenches every single day, making health, fitness a lifestyle. Thank you guys, and we will see y'all soon.